That's why I was curious on your end here, knowing that you've got a lot on your plate, even right now, even post-retirement, where you've re-entered, you become a vice chair, a strategic advisor to a board right now, helping them to look at client acquisitions, strategic acquisitions, mergers, other, development issues within an advisory force, things like this. When you think about your future, how will you continue to make a difference? Is there one, two, or three things that build off of your core value system, whether it be family, your love for the investment field, your passion for being around cool people and trying to help them, but they're helping you in return. So what are some of the things that are keeping you up at night or you're excited about in areas that you want to continue to make a difference on?
So I before I answer that question, Leo, it's really, really interesting that yesterday news came out that Charlie Watts died. For me, as a drummer, I started playing the drums at 7 years old. So I'm of the generation of Charlie Watts and Ringo Starr, John Bonham and Keith Moon and others. But my two drumming heroes are Charlie Watts and Ringo Starr. This is the first one of that kind of ilk who lived a full life and has passed away. And it's really got to me. When John Lennon died, I was a big John Lennon fan, but when John Lennon died, I didn't feel like this, nor when George Harrison died. Others, John Entwistle, who's the bass player for The Who, died, or Keith Moon way back when. But for the first time, Charlie Watts, at the age of 80, was passed on, one of my heroes, and it started me thinking again, what's next for me? Because I'm 66, going to be 67 in December. I thought I'd already gone through that and was coming up, and it's right back in my mind, again. So I'm now thinking about next step. What's next for me, my wife, and my family in our lives. So I preface the answer to your question by that. So I've re-entered. I'm nowhere near involved in the business like I was before. I was truly running the business before. So it was 24/7, all year round, on call, right? You're on call. Others are on call. I was on call.
Right.
But now it's more of an advisory, mentor, coaching role, and passing on any expertise or any thoughts that I have to make a business run more. So it allows me to satisfy this need to make a difference, but at the same time gives me the freedom to have time for myself, my wife, and my family. And one of the great joys that's happening is that our kids are all in their 30s now, and we're seeing them flourish, especially in fact, all three of them. They're all flourish. It brings us a great deal of joy. Our son was able to come home a couple of weeks ago. The middle boy, who was the one who was sick, he was able to come home a couple of weeks ago. First time we've seen him because of the pandemic since December 2019. And we had everybody together with partners and significant others in our backyard for a barbecue. I can't tell you how that made me made me feel. Wow. So I have time, and so what else can I be doing to help others?
It's interesting when you look at that gap. Someone you admired from the music industry, one of the folks that you truly enjoyed watching play at their best in the music that they participated in, being 80, his demise, you being 66, 67 range, the 13, 14-year window, that gap. Why do you think it hit you as hard as it did? You've lost other people in the business world, I know. This is the first time you've told me about something like this, but this one seemed to touch your heart and soul differently.
Yeah, it did. It because it was part of my whole life. literally back. It's been part of 59 of my 66 years.
Mm.
And so it's, I think it reinforces this notion that of mortality with us. Wait a second, like, and even yesterday when I went for a walk, we're on at the end of our street's a big ravine system. I love to go walking through there. I just started thinking, like, how much time do I really have left? And
Yeah, it's
health
like what's
wise,
really important,
right,
right?
right. What's really
Just
important?
going through this.
I mean, I
You've
can
got a
tell you
little
that
tape delay here, Dean, right now. I'm not sure you've frozen on me with our
there we
internet
go.
connection.
There we
There
go.
we go.
I can tell you that the reason I hold the drumsticks the way I do, hold them in two ways. I was taught the way Charlie Watts holds them, which is a jazz way. And depending on the song, I'll morph it to the double-handed way, which is the way Ringo Starr held them. And in certain songs, I have to switch the way I hold the sticks in order to be able to play the song properly.
Oh boy.
That's, so it hits you. Like, I'm 8 years old learning how to switch ways. This guy was these two people were part of my life that whole time, and now bang, one of them's gone.
It's like a 60-year ride.
Yeah.
Of learning how to hold these drumsticks, and the music that came out of your hands is a result of the influence from them.